All right, so today we are going to take a look at negative and zero exponents. These are the last rules that we're going to look at. And again, I'm going to kind of go through the rules pretty quickly at the beginning so that we can get to the practice. So any number to the zero power is 1. That's pretty simple. Anything that has an exponent of 0, the entire base then just equals 1. And then negative exponents are a little trickier. It's going to sound confusing when we read the rule, but I think it'll become a lot clearer when you see some examples. So basically, when you have a negative exponent, what that really means is that to make it positive, because we always want to have positive exponents, you take its reciprocal, which means, and here's the key, when there's a negative exponent in the numerator, you move it to the denominator. And when there's a negative exponent in the denominator, the bottom, you move it to the numerator. So that's how you make them positive. You really just switch its location. So again, the best way to see this is to just see it in action with some practice. And that's what we're going to do. So you'll notice the directions for these examples will also be the same as the directions for your practice. And then the quiz, you always want to write your expressions using only positive exponents. So our first one here, can't keep it because it has a negative exponent. So it's in the numerator. It's kind of like saying that it's over 1 right now. So to fix that, we will put it in the bottom, and now it becomes positive. So you notice I took the 3 to the negative fourth, I moved it to the bottom, and now the exponent's positive. And then my last step is to simplify. 3 to the fourth is 81. So 1 over 81 is my simplified answer there for number 1. Number 2 is an example of what happens when we have something to the 0 power. We know from up above here, anything to the 0 power is equal to 1. So this expression just simplifies to 1. Number 3, again, we have a negative exponent. We can't have negative exponents in our answer, so to make that positive, since it's in the numerator, it goes to the denominator. And again, a way of thinking about that, you always see me putting it over 1 or under 1. There's nothing in that numerator. We know we need something to hold a place. We put a 1 there, so that's how it becomes 1 over k to the 7th. In number 4, now they're getting a little bit trickier, bringing a little more. So I'm going to start with each part. So if I start with the first part, the m to the 0, that's a 0 exponent. So that part's just going to equal 1. And then in the second part, I have a negative exponent. I have n to the negative third. So I know when I have a negative exponent, I have to move it to its like opposite location. Since that's negative in the numerator, I'm going to send it to the denominator. And then my final answer is just 1 over n to the third. In number 15, so this one now I'm going to break down by each part. So I'm going to start with the 16 here. All right, I'm going to start with the 16. In the 16, all right, if I look at the 16, we don't really see its exponent, so we know that exponent is like a 1. And that is a positive exponent, so that 16 is not going to go anywhere. So when I sort of draw my fraction bar, I'm going to keep the 16 in the top because it has a positive exponent. It doesn't need to move or go anywhere. Now I'm going to look at the x to the negative 6. That has a negative exponent. So because it has a negative exponent, I'm going to take it to the bottom, and the exponent becomes positive. And then the last part I'm going to look at is the y to the second. Excuse me. I'm going to look at that y to the second there. And that's a positive exponent. So that is just going to stay where it's at. Again, its exponent is positive, so it's going to stay where it's at. And so my simplified form then is 16y squared over x to the 6th. Again, I only move the parts that have negative exponents. If they have a positive exponent, they stay where they're at. So in number 6, same thing. I'm going to look at each part here. I'll start in the numerator. K to the 7th. That's a positive exponent, so that's going to stay in the top. It's not going to move anywhere because it's a positive exponent. Then I'm going to go to the denominator. I have an x to the negative 5th. Now this is the first time we've seen the negative exponent in the denominator. When we have a negative exponent in the denominator, to make it positive, we put it at its opposite spot, or we're going to take it up to the top. So now it's going to come up to the top and become positive. And this is my final simplified answer because now everything has a positive exponent. So I have k to the 7th, x to the 5th. kind of that I could also write that x to the 5th, k to the 7th, doesn't matter. Either one of those answers is okay. But again, the reason I moved the x to the negative 5th is that it had a negative exponent. I have to make it positive by taking it to the top. K to the 7th stays where it was because it had a positive exponent. And now we're on our last 3 examples here. Again, I'm just going to break it down part by part. So I'm going to start with the 10. The exponent on the 10 is a 1. Even though we don't see it, we know it's a 1. That's a positive exponent, so it's going to stay in the numerator. In the next part, the x, again, I like to highlight it so you can see what I'm looking at here. The x, again, its exponent, since we don't really see it, we know is like a 1. That's a positive exponent. So again, the x is going to stay in the top where it is because it has a positive exponent. Our final part then is the y to the negative 8. And since that has a negative exponent, where should it go? That's right, it's going to go to the bottom to make it positive. And again, now we're simplified. So we have 10x over y to the 8th. Only move the parts that have negative exponents. If it has a positive exponent, keep it where it is. In this next example, right, so I'm going to kind of do this one a little bit quicker here. When I look through, I notice that 9 to the negative second and m to the negative second both have negative exponents. So since they're in the numerator, I'm going to send them down to the denominator. So they become 9 to the positive second, or 9 squared, and m to the positive second. And then the other part I have here is the n squared. Again, since that has a positive exponent, it's going to just stay in the top. My final step for this one is looking at this 9 squared here. Since 9 squared can be simplified, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to write this then as n squared over 9 squared is 81 m squared. And there's my final answer then, n squared over 81 m squared. And then my last example here. So again, when I'm looking through, I only want to move things that have negative exponents. So when I start, I'm going to draw my fraction bar. If I look at this a to the negative 7th, that has a negative exponent. So since it's a negative exponent in the numerator, I'm going to move it down to the denominator. Then I'm going to go to the denominator, since I've moved everything in the numerator that needs to be moved. Here I have a b to the 5th. That is a positive exponent. Since it's a positive exponent, it's going to stay where it's at. So it was positive in the denominator. It doesn't need to be moved around because it already has a positive exponent. It's going to stay where it's at. And then the final part I'm looking at is the c to the negative 4th. Again, because that has a negative exponent, to make it positive, I have to send it to the numerator, send it up top. So I'm going to put it in the top, and now it becomes positive. And I've simplified this expression then. So my final answer there is c to the 4th over a to the 7th, b to the 5th. Again, if we're thinking about a summary here, the big summary or the big picture here, right, is that you can only have positive exponents. To make an exponent positive, you have to move its location or flip it. If it's negative in the numerator, it goes to the denominator. If it's negative in the denominator, it goes to the numerator. Anything with positive exponents stays where it's at. All right, so again, that's our summary of these rules from the beginning for negative exponents.